we're live now. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Let's quickly do the analysis now. Guys, I have a confession. Yesterday, I messed up on one of the accounts. I messed up on the account. I didn't blow it, but I was over trading yesterday. I was over trading. I executed almost 10 trades yesterday. Let me show you. So now though, we are in drawdown of about $200 on the challenge. So we only have about $200. So right now we're in recovery mode. Now we need to make a profit of $400. So you notice that now there's been 16 trades on the account. And my usual trade is supposed to be between 2 or 3 trades in a day. But I don't know, yesterday I was just scalping, and even though I was scalping, I ended up losing money, So what happened is that so the first trade we took on the account, these 2 trades, they were okay. Then we made the losses back. Then we took a loss on the 3rd. Then on the 4th, we took another $100 loss. We call it a day. But yesterday, I was doing give and take with the market. Like, I was making money, the market was taking it back. I was making money, the market was taking it back. Like yesterday, see what happened. I made $24 on the first trade, like a break-even trade. Then the next 2 trades, I lost about $15. Then that's fine. Then I made $100, right? This same yesterday. Then see again. Then I lost the $100. Then I made $3. Then I lost $7. Then I lost $50. Then I made $26. Then I lost minus $96, right? So apparently I was expecting the sell to go, right? And they stopped me out. But the funny thing is that it actually sold. Like, that's why I was so pissed off. Like, I put a trade here, and I was risking how much there? I was risking about $100 there, 87 points. Yeah, that's about $100. And then see what happened. I was wicked out by how many points? Like, I was wicked out by about 16 points, and then boom, the market went about 200 points in profits. Like, who does that, man? Like, anyway, so it looks like NASDAQ is respecting so far this level, right? So today we're gonna go again. The first objective right now is to recover back the account into profit, so into back to the $5,000 mark. Then we'll now start looking for passing the challenge again. So now though, in order to make sure that I'm not going to keep revenge trading and all, I need to try, and I will take some break over the weekend and possibly next week. But my wish is that I actually would actually pass the challenge like today, and then just wait for a few days before I start trading again on the live accounts and all. But anyway, it is what it is. I know what I did wrong, and that's exactly what I need to make sure I don't do again. And there's 2 things I'm doing wrong, at least this week, after the Tuesday loss that I actually took. The first thing was that after the profit I didn't close on Tuesday, that almost passed the challenge by $20 remaining. So I started to enter trades just anyhow, right? And that means that something is wrong in my psychology somehow. So on Wednesday, I just enter a random trade, and then on Thursday, and then on Friday. So today's Friday. So yesterday I entered like a lot of trade. All the trades were correct. It's just that I was stopped out, and then I would re-enter because I think, okay, yeah, it should go, and then I will still wait, and then so I just need to go back to my original plan and just and face it. The second thing I think I'd like to point out is that whenever we're entering a trade, there is the ideal place to put stop loss. There is an ideal place of actually putting stop losses when it comes to most of the trades that we're taking. So the only reason I don't like to put the stop loss in the ideal place is that I'm using 1 lot, and if I use 1 lot, and let's say I can only afford to risk 2% on a trade, so that's about $100. So if I enter a trade, let's say like the sell I entered right here, and I entered the sell over here, right? And as soon as I entered the sell over here, guess what happened? I was automatically stopped out, right? I was stopped out. When I was stopped out, I was stopped out. It will have lose me if I had put my stop loss originally where it should be. I would be losing about $200, but I can't afford to lose $200. So I set my stop loss exactly to the risk, but the risk I set my stop to, it's not exactly where the stop loss should be. Now the mistake there is that, not a mistake, but because I did it deliberately, it was I was supposed to use a smaller lot size, but I wanted to, you know, capitalize on the move. I want it to be like fast and all. So that's exactly why I, you know, that hot, I lost the trade and stuff like that. But going forward, it would be best to just, you know, keep going slowly, at least until we recover back the accounts to the mark that it was supposed to be. With that said, let's go into the analysis, and hopefully we have a good day today. We will have a good day today. We will have a good day today. So let's take a look at the news today. Oh, there's a lot of news today at 2:30. Definitely all of this is going to move the market unless they cancel all this news. The news is a lot. There's NFP, there's unemployment rates, there's retails data, there's average hourly earning coming. All the news that is coming out today at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's either you don't trade at all at that time because it can go up and go down because all the data are quite high level data. NFP is high level. Unemployment claims is also a high level data. So I think we're going to, you know, potentially just stay out of 2:30 p.m. Nigerian time so that we don't just take any trade around that time. Okay, now let's look at NASDAQ. What do we have with Mr. NASDAQ this morning? All right, so the outlook now, let's see what we are doing on the 4-hour. Let's check 4 hours for now. All right, so on 4-hour, we're still trading within that same swing low and swing high, the range that we have actually been dealing with, okay? So anyway, if you take a look at the immediate swings that you can see, this swing high here and then this swing low right here, okay? So NASDAQ is still respecting this demand to the left right here. They're still respecting this demand zone to the left, right? And if you see, it is nested all the way to this place, okay? So what is going to happen now is that because NASDAQ has been failing to really push up a lot, although the market structure somehow is bullish internally, like these are the external structure of NASDAQ from the swing high to the swing low, and then the internal structure, which is basically you know, right here. So what are we doing so far in the internal structure? We pull up, so we create a high, we create a low that is not as low as that, then we create a slightly higher high, and then we come and create, you know, even a low that is even lower, like tapping again into this demand zone. So potentially from here now, we need to see you know, NASDAQ potentially respecting the formation, maybe break the high, break these, pull back again, and you know. So potentially I think that NASDAQ might start doing like the higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and for every higher high and higher low, there's going to be its own internal range, and that also is tradable. So potentially maybe later on I'll make another video about the internal range of every structure. Like every single higher high and higher low is going to have its own internal structure, right? Before it gets back to the low and to the high. Okay, so now that we know that 4-hour is potentially still like bullish, well, we're still good. Let's just go straight to 15 minutes because that's exactly where we want to stay and look for our zones. So let's turn on the session break and we're going to mark the previous day liquidity areas, high and lows. So yesterday was Thursday, so that means we need to find the highest points yesterday. This is the highest point of yesterday, so that would be our previous day high. And our previous day low, now is actually much lower, much higher now. So this is the previous day low now, and unlike yesterday previous day low that is somewhere over here, it's still relevant because there is a demand zone right there. So if NASDAQ fail to keep going higher, those levels at the bottom here are actually going to be a good target to wait for. Now in terms of zones, so now we know the previous day high and previous day low. Let's see the Asian range. So I turn on the indicator. So right now NASDAQ is still trading within the Asian range. It has not broken out yet. So NASDAQ needs to either break out of the Asian range, break out of the previous day high and start rejecting to come back for the previous day low or whatever, or maybe to just keep going, right? So we're going to know what it wants to do after the news at 2:30 today. Now though, let's see what do we have again. Well, so now we need zones that we're going to execute our trades from. This is the first zone, that's the demand zone, you know, that NASDAQ can respect. Then we're going to look on the 30 minutes. I mean, turn back off the session break. So we need to identify about 3 zones that NASDAQ can get into. One is going to be a weak zone, one is going to be a medium zone, one is going to be like a really strong zone. So we're going to identify all of them zones. Well, I think zone now, let's identify it on 1 hour. The one that I identified on 15 minutes, I refined it. So 15 minutes, we just refine the zone, but actually the zone itself, we can see it on the, we can see the actual zone on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so if I look to the left right now, I can see that, okay, let me also make it cleaner, turn off this. All right, so now we can see much clearly now. In the immediate price range between the swing and the swing low of the 1 hour, the extreme demands are the ones at the structure levels. Every single structure levels are this first demand, second demand level, and third demand level. The third demand level is nested together with the 4 hour demand level right here. So let's also see on 4 hour. If the zones on 4 hour are much okay. So the zones that we have right now are actually very well aligned with the 4 hour demands. So there's a zone to the left here on 4 hour, you can see right here. This zone right here. It's a demand zone. And then there's a second one, which is the zone after it, which is this one. And that's also nested inside the current zone that we're trading at, so this level. So this is also another zone, right? And this is on 4 hour. So the last zone is, this is a zone as well, this one right here. So that means that we have already 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 zones. So I think we're good in terms of zoning. All we just need to do now is on the 15 minutes, the zones are properly refined. Let me see. On 15 minutes, if I need to properly refine the zone, on 15 minutes, I would only wait at this first zone. This second zone is not going to hold. This zone here can hold. The one at the bottom right here can potentially hold. So, but this zone, this one here, it's not going to hold because the pivot candles there are just, you know, they're not like indecisive candles. Yes. So potentially, if NASDAQ really needs to go to a demand zone, and the one exactly below it is the one after the previous day low, which is this one and this one. So technically, both of them may not hold because, you know, depending on the type of pressure that NASDAQ has. But we're talking about this level as a good zone, you know, this guy and this guy. So these 2 zones potentially can actually be like, you know, the zone to wait for if NASDAQ will get into it for a long-term buy, right? Obviously, we're going to see whatever market does when New York session comes, and hopefully we can get a, you know, we can get in on the action when that happens. All right, so with that said, I'm going to, let's see again, the Asian range. So to do a summary, what are we expecting NASDAQ to do this morning? So NASDAQ is basically right now inside the Asian range. The previous day high is above, previous day low is below. NASDAQ right now is much closer to the previous day high than it is the previous day low. So I'm thinking that NASDAQ is going to take the previous day high before New York session. If it does that, it should pull back. If before New York session, NASDAQ already take the previous day high and they return back into the Asian range, that means that we're going for the previous day low. But if, right, so in both scenario, before we take any selling momentum, it's either we see NASDAQ break out or NASDAQ failing to break out of the Asian range, and then we're going to look for the bearish momentum, or we're going to take the trade. All right. So everybody, we are potentially good. We are good. Let's see. So we're gonna potentially call it a session now. I think that's basically going to be the outlook for this morning. We'll wait until New York session again, then we'll come for the live trading itself, where we make the actual decision to buy or to sell NASDAQ. All right. So everybody, Let's have an amazing morning. I can see your screen. Okay. I think now you can see the screen now. So I think basically the computer was malfunctioning for a minute. So that was why. Sorry. So to recap again, just I think maybe someone couldn't see the screen. The analysis is that NASDAQ is going to take the previous day high, take the Asian high. So we need to stay away. Between now and New York session, we don't need to do anything. We're not taking any trade. So at New York session, we'll come and see whatever the price has done. Then we'll now pick the zone that we're going to trade from. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we have not identified any supply zone. The reason why I'm not identifying supply zone is because there's no point. We're not looking for long-term sales, right? So that's why I'm only identifying demand zones, because the structure is we're going bullish. And the reason we can identify supply zones is just for, okay, by the time price gets into this level, is it going to stop our trade or is it not going to stop our trade? Anyway, but it's very visible, you can see. But those are decisions we're going to make when we are entering a trade. Okay, which level is going to stop this trade from actually moving forward? So we're going to get there, and I think that's going to be amazing. All right, everybody, let's have an amazing morning. We'll come back again at New York session for the live trading. I think this week we actually traded Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let me see. Did you actually trade Monday through Thursday? Yes. So we started trading. Today is what? Today is 6. So basically 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So we didn't trade on. Oh, we trade on the second. So we trade every day this week. This is February. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today Friday 6. So we were trading every single day of this week. And wow, that's like. Let me show you something. Let me show you the P&L of each day. You can see something on Tuesday. On Monday, we didn't make any money. Oh, I thought we traded on Monday. Oh, I think maybe we didn't trade on Monday actually. Oh, okay. The trade we entered on Monday closed on Tuesday. So on Tuesday we made $125. On Wednesday we lost $100. Yesterday we lost $96, right? So that means now we're down about about $200. So technically, we're still within a acceptable daily loss, losing $200. Losing $100, which is like 2% per day. But now it's not looking good because we've made some progress and then we're returning back the progress to the market. I have the mind of Christ, so today we'll know what to do, and we're gonna get out of this shenanigans of giving and taking from the market. So let's go, guys. Let's have an amazing morning. Happy and safe trading. See you at New York session.